All right, hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I wanted to make these bicycle vlogs every week, but I missed last week only because I had everything. I made a video, but I just didn't like how it came out. Last week's topic was about what is dating like for a foreigner in Japan, but I don't know. I think maybe the information I was giving, maybe it could have been misconstrued, or people could have misunderstood what I was talking about. And so I didn't want to do that. And sometimes I'm not really good at articulating my words. So I just said I skipped it. And then today I wanted to talk about if it's easy to live in Japan as a foreigner. And if you want to hear about the dating one, maybe I can make another one. I deleted that file, but if you want to listen to me talk about that, you can leave a comment below. But typically speaking, being a foreigner in Japan, it's kind of different for me because I'm Asian. So, you know, people think I'm Japanese, but I can understand by talking to other foreigners who are not Asian, and I can feel or I can share their experiences as a foreigner in Japan. But as for me, as an Asian American living in Asia, I don't feel too many differences. Maybe because you know, I don't speak too much Japanese right now. I'm learning Japanese, but yeah, so I don't really talk too much with Japanese people, so I don't get an understanding of how it feels as a foreigner and the interactions I get with people. But I think majority of Japanese people welcome foreigners and are open to, I don't know, talking to them and I don't know, treating them with respect. I've been hearing like a lot of things about like a lot of Southeast Asianers that live in Japan and they don't get treated well. Like Vietnamese people, I hear a lot of Vietnamese people, I mean, they come here to work from Vietnam, and I hear they get treated poorly through their employer and also from like the people they work with. But you know, that's just stuff I see on the in the news and stuff like that. As far as being like a Western foreigner, I feel that if you're like a white person, I feel like you're generally welcome pretty much in every Asian country, you know. And I feel like if you're black, you might get, I mean, I feel like even if you're white or black, you get stared at a lot. I noticed that when I'm on a train, I always notice people staring at a black or white person, and then I'm staring at them. So it's like a triangle effect because you know, I think generally speaking, Japanese people are more just curious, right? And I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of racist people in Japan, but I think majority of the people are not, and majority of the people are more welcoming. And I think they're just curious, you know. For me too, I'm very curious, especially like in my neighborhood. When I see like a foreigner, I'm so curious, like, hey, I'm the only foreigner that lives here. What are you doing out here? Like, and it's more like, I wonder what this person does, or I wonder what this person, what kind of job he has or she has. So I get very curious. So a lot of times I'm also staring as well, but I try not to be so obvious like other people. And the reason I thought about this topic was I was on the train last night, and then I got in the train, and there was a guy. He was black, but he could have been like half, but he was wearing a hoodie, and he was we made eye contact, but the way we made eye contact was I don't know, it just seemed like, just gave me like this look, and I just kind of looked at him for a second, and I just kind of looked away. But I mean, he was wearing like Jordans, you know, like they're really expensive shoes. They're like $200 shoes. And the lady next to me, when he was like reaching into his bag, she was like staring at him for some reason, like just kind of like, so I was staring at her and she was staring at him, and it felt like, I don't know why she was staring so hard, but it seemed like he was like gonna take out a bomb or something. Like she was just staring really closely, but he was just zipping up his bag or something. So and also too, a lot of times, even for like white people, when you sit, oh look at this, cool, that's awesome. But even when you sit on the train, I didn't know there's a park here. Yeah. So even if you sit on the train, people will leave a space next to you, and I don't know, as a foreigner, I think maybe people may not like that. Like maybe they feel isolated, or like, what's wrong with me? So I mean, I haven't asked a Japanese person why Japanese people do that, and if I asked a Japanese person, they probably wouldn't even know. Maybe because they don't do that either. But they don't. One big thing is they don't tend to sit at the seat next to a foreigner, and yeah, and yeah, I think also too, I think, I don't know, it's hard to say because I'm not a non-Asian foreigner. I'm an Asian foreigner, so, but this is what I just hear from people as well. But especially for like where am I going? Especially for like black people, I hear a lot of people like just really stare you down, and it can be uncomfortable, and yeah. But you know what? I think as far as like being a foreigner here, it's not as bad as being a foreigner in America. Because I mean, when I was growing up, you know, I had to face a lot of racism because I was Asian, and you would think. All right, so I ran out of battery, and I think I left off where I said I feel Japan is, they might have some racism, but I do feel safer, or I think foreigners do feel safer than in America. And for me personally, growing up in America, I faced a lot of racism, but that was like 20 years ago. So hopefully, I think things have changed. But still, you would think, like a country like America, where everything is multicultural, multinational, that people would be less racist. But it's pretty racist in America. So I think you'll get that with any country. You're gonna face certain type of racism in any country. But I think here it's more curiosity, and there are people who are like really right wing, very you know, they want everything pure. I'm sure there are a lot of people like that here too, but the majority are pretty good and welcoming. Also too, there are a lot of half nationality kids that live in Japan, and they often do get bullied at school because they're different. And I also have an ex-coworker, a friend of mine, who is half British and half Japanese, but he looked more British. But he was telling me too that a lot of like old men would harass him like on the train, speaking in Japanese and telling him some things when he was younger. And yeah, I think it's just like, I think you always hear that Japan always has like a really big bullying problem. And I think for me, my theory is that since everybody is Japanese, everybody's wearing uniforms, you know, there's no individuality, and everybody is kind of taught from a young age that they're pretty much like all the same. I mean, they're not really, I don't think they're taught that, but you know, just from their surrounding and their environment, you know, when everybody's wearing the same uniform and everybody kind of looks the same, when you stand out, it's not good. And they kind of like prep you to become a worker. And I think that's kind of like the culture in Japanese work culture, is like it's like unity, like everybody is working together for the big cause, you know. So you have to come in 12 hours a day, and work your butt off, because you're not one unit, but I mean, you're not one individual, but you're a whole unit trying to work for the company. So that's my theory. I think that's why people get bullied around. And if you stand out of all these people, I think then you're an outsider and you get bullied. So I think kids who are half here do get bullied a lot. But I think majority, 90% of the time, if you're a foreigner and you come to Japan, I think either you live here or you're traveling here. Most Japanese people are very friendly and very nice and very welcoming, and they're willing to help you out. So I think it's pretty good in Japan. In Japan itself, I think being a foreigner is pretty good here. And yeah, so sorry I had to cut the video and film in my staircase. If you have any other questions, or if you want me to talk about a topic, please leave it in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching. Goodbye.